Namaste and welcome to this practice. Let's start on our hands and knees. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, and we'll begin to make a connection with our breath as we move our body. Bringing the shoulders forward over the wrists, knees a little wider than the hips, and as you breathe in, you can scoop up from the navel to the chest. And as you exhale, look into the navel and round through the spine. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. Take your gaze upward, and then on the exhale, press into the hands and feel the upper back rounding, stretching. And just do this a few more times now, releasing any tension that you may have noticed along the back body, the shoulders. And even as you allow the abdomen to be soft, you should feel a nice release there so the breath can feel effortless. So on your next inhalation, as you lift the chest and lift the hips, curl the toes under, rise into downward facing dog, and take a slow, steady walk on the spot, lifting one heel at a time. See if you can stay even through the weight pressing into both hands, the wrists, the shoulders, and it's just the feet and the hips moving a little here. And then finding center, lift up through the heels and then release them down as you bend the knees, bringing the knees all the way to the earth. Take an inhale, come forward into half plank. Exhale, release all the way down to the floor. We'll take cobra, so widen the hands. Inhale, pick up through the chest, take the shoulders back and down a little. So the elbows are bent and just let them flare out to the side so you feel that broadening across the chest. Taking one more breath in here. Release down on the exhale. And take the arms alongside the body, turn the palms down. Inhale into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Bending through the elbows and a little through the knees. Riding on that soft belly breath. Just one more inhale here. Coming down on the out breath. Hands can come back under the shoulders, come up through hands and knees. Exhale into down dog and find stillness in the down dog. The heels are reaching down towards the floor evenly. Armpits are wrapping under to face each other. Lift up a little through the front ribs and find that length through the spine. Bend the knees even more and begin to walk the hands back to the feet, so you're coming to the back of the mat. Once you arrive, take the hands to the shins, soften the knees, inhale and lift the chest halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinging from the hips as you exhale, draw the chest down to the thighs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, melting. Feel the front body softening. Here you're going to bend the knees even more. Tuck the chin to the chest. Spinal roll all the way up on your inhale. Stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Rise to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin back into the chest. Draw the shoulders forward. And roll all the way down, bending the knees generously. Coming back up on your in-breath. Legs are doing all the work here, so really bending through the knees. Feel yourself freeing the spine and come down on the out-breath. Relaxing the jaw as you feel the heaviness of the head. And coming again on the inhale to rise up and feel that strong strong foundation through both feet, both legs. Exhale back down again. From your forward fold, you can take a halfway lift, and that might be hands to shins, the earth, or you could extend the arms out parallel to the floor, reaching forward a little more through the crown, back a little more into the tailbone. On your next exhale, folding down towards the earth. Walk your way back out into downward facing dog. So a good stance, good long distance between hands and feet from dog pose. Inhale forward into your plank, shoulders over the wrists. Firm through the belly, exhale, pick up the hips and find your way back into down dog. Inhale forward into plank, lengthen to the heels. Exhale, rising, hips up and back into down dog. Following the breath, coming forward on your inhale and back on the out breath. And just take one more like that. And feel the whole body opening and conversing. From downward facing dog, bend the knees and walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. We'll take a reverse swan dive here. So inhale and reach the arms up and overhead, and exhale down through center. Circling the arms up overhead on your inhale, maybe take a look upward. Lead with the heart as you exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping the right leg back, come down to the right knee. Inhale, the arms up, and as you take the arms up, lift the hips. So rather than that sagging into the hips, stay active. Legs are moving towards each other. You feel that activation. There's a strength through the legs. Your choice with the arms. They could be in this pistol grip position, or you could have the arms separate or even to the hips. And release the hands all the way down. And now we can get a little deeper and feel that stretch through the right quad. And maybe just dropping the weight of the hips, or you might like to pick up the right foot and draw it in towards the body. You could use a block here to give yourself a little bit of space and reach around and take hold of that right foot. So block is great to just get you set up in the pose, and then even if you want to move it out, you could. Relaxing that jaw so that you can feel the breath unrestricted, moving into the body where it's really needed right now. And then release the foot if you've taken hold, and pick up the left toes as you send that left hip back and start to straighten the left leg. But try and stay long through the spine, so coming forward to look up. And exhale, continue to look up and forward and hinge from the hips. If you need a little break from being on that back knee, you could always come up into a higher lunge. Just once more, extending through the back of that left leg as you encourage that left hip back a little more and folding down. Find your way back into the lunge and frame the front foot, step back into your plank or half plank. Inhaling forward with the shoulders, exhale, release all the way to the earth. Inhale to cobra, lengthen back into the toes. Exhale, release. Arms reach back and find your locust pose, or you could take another cobra or even a sphinx here. And releasing all the way down. Hands on the shoulders, firm through the belly. Inhale, hands and knees, and exhale, down dog. Extending the right leg to the air, three-legged dog. Rather than opening that right hip, just stay long, so you almost want to drop that right hip a little. Take one more inhale, perhaps lift up a little higher through the right foot, and then bring that foot forward in between the hands. Come down to the back knee. Inhale, lifting hips, lift arms, and actively engaging both legs. Build those strong foundations that you can rely on, trust in. And releasing all the way back down. Make a choice here, what it is that your body needs right now. It could be bringing the foot up a little closer to the body, reach back and take hold. You might even lower down a little more onto the left hand. Be attentive to the breath. Release the back foot down to the earth, and let's free the hamstrings on the right side as you inhale, lift up. So you could take a block here or some sort of prop to give you that bridging between your hands and the earth. So that's really helpful just to get that set up in the body, and particularly being able to keep the spine long and the chest open as you fold. So 2 large jars could work on either side. Whatever you've got. And just once more, extending back and taking that right hip back just slightly. Feel the openness through the chest, and maybe then when you feel that freedom and the length through the spine, you could fold in a little more. And then coming forward, we're going to step to the front of the mat. So as you breathe in, take the back leg forward, lift halfway. Knees are still off lock here though, and exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Palms touch overhead before drawing them down to the center of the chest. Circle the arms up as you inhale. Knees off lock, exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting halfway before stepping the left leg back. High lunge, Anjaneyasana. Low lunge you could stick with if you wanted to. You could take the arms up into that pistol grip, bending through the front knee. And then dropping down to just let that back knee hover. As you inhale, come back up, but not so much that the right leg straightens. Imagine you could rest a glass of water on that right thigh. So try and keep as much of a right angle on that right thigh as you can. And it's really the back leg doing most of the work here. And then from your high lunge, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Again, you could use a block under the left hand. Inhale to twist, take the right arm up. Feel the right heel wanting to steer into the middle slightly, and that'll help keep the knee over the ankle. And stay active through that bottom hand so you get that extension all the way to the top fingers as you take just one more breath in. Exhale, release the hands down, both inside of that right foot now. Walk around to the long side of your mat, finding Prasarita Pada your wide leg forward fold. Turning the big toes in slightly. You might take the first finger and thumb to the big toes or bring the hands to the floor or to a block. Feel the spine decompressing through the weight of the head. Relax the neck a little more. Soften the jaw a little more. And then walking your way back around to the front of your mat to frame that right foot. We're coming into pyramid pose here. So feet are parallel like they're on train tracks, but you'll need to hop the back leg forward some so that the heel comes down to the floor. Lift up the spine, reach forward to the crown. You could keep hands on the floor or to the hips, or you could even take a reverse namaste at the back, and as the elbows draw back, feel the opening across the chest. Legs stay as they are if you want to take this a little further into a twist. Left hand comes back down to the earth or to your block, and pivoting around once more, taking the right arm up. Reach the left heel down. Feel those left ribs coming around. And releasing so that both hands are again framing the front foot. You're stepping the right leg back. Find your three-legged dog. Turn the left heel in ever so slightly, so bend the left knee. Open up the right hip and take this twisted dog. So right knee bends. Take a breath in. On the exhale, come forward into a floating pigeon. So right shin comes across the mat, but don't land it. Inhale, take it back up and open. Exhale, cross the mat, but not quite landing it. Keep going, I've just got wardrobe issues. Again, inhale to open. And floating across the front of the mat before landing the shin down and extending the left leg back. Before you sink into your pigeon, instead press into that right shin. Feel the hips hugging inward. So the legs drawing in, much like they were in that low lunge. So you could come onto the fingertips. Perhaps you might lift the arms overhead and find that pistol grip once more. And then soften everything down. Feel the leg muscles switching off some more. Still on the center of that back knee to keep the hips level, happy, centered. Support the head as you release now. You may even like to take a few open mouth exhalations. And as you spend this time focusing on the breath, it's also an opportune time to notice what's happening in your mind state. So the practice of yoga not only challenges us physically, but we get to know how we're thinking during these challenging moments, or the moments where it might feel actually very easy, or you might feel bored, or your patience is challenged. There's always something to become aware of, how you're thinking, how you're operating. So enjoy releasing this next longer out breath. And then bring those hands under the shoulders and ready to lift yourself up into three-legged dog. Taking that right leg all the way back. Don't open the hip this time. We're moving into wild things, so bring the right knee all the way in like you're coming into a, gone blank. And then step the right foot over to the side and find wild thing. So you're on the ball of the right foot, lifting up through the hips, extending the right arm. Or you could have the right arm bent and hand to the heart. We flip back over now so you're on both hands, and then take this right leg all the way through between the left hand and left foot to find fallen star. Lifting up through that bottom hip, extend through the top fingertips. Release the left hand back down and extend that right leg to three-legged dog just last time. Place the foot down and either find your full plank or half plank. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale to cobra or sphinx. Exhale to release. Extending the arms alongside the body. One breath, locust pose. Hands under the shoulders and make your way back into downward facing dog. Savor this pause in your practice. Ready to extend the left leg to the air as you inhale. Stepping the foot forward, high lunge. We're here on the second side. Take the arms up. Find your choice with the arms or the hands. Steering the left hip back slightly as you bend the back knee, hovering above the earth. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to lower. Breath and mind steady. And as you bend into that front knee a little more, release the hands down on either side of the front foot, twisting the left arm up towards the sky. Release the hand down on the inside of that front foot. Pivot around and find your wide leg forward bend. Stay centered if you wish, or lift up just enough now and walk your chest all the way over to the left leg. And take a little twist here, so bringing that left shoulder around to, beg your pardon, the right shoulder around to the left side. Releasing and moving through center as you lift and bring the chest over to the right leg. Left shoulder comes through. Before releasing back to center and feeling the freedom there through the spine and shoulders, and you might even like to just move a little from side to side and feel the body so free. And then coming around to frame that front foot, finding pyramid pose, so stepping the back foot forward, feet are parallel, and why not lift on up so that hands are on the hips, and that way you can explore continuing to lengthen the spine. You could hold the opposite elbows behind you or bring the hands into namaste at the back. Feel the spine wanting to reach into the hands, the little finger side of those prayer hands. Opening up through the chest. Opening up through the chest. Release the hands down. Let's take a twist here. So hand to the earth, inhale and reach up towards the ceiling. And then coming all the way down and finding your three-legged dog. Extending the leg all the way up into the air. Open up here, so bend the knee. Open up through the hip, look under the armpit there on that same side. Then come forward into your floating pigeon. Shin hovers above the earth. Inhale to open. Exhale to float. Coming forward. Last time. Feel those muscles active and warm, preparing them now as you bring that shin across the mat. Engaging a little more into the legs so you feel like these sockets are sucking in. I always think of the Barbie legs or the plastic doll legs when they've popped out. You want to get that sense that you're pushing them back in, so there's this drawing in all directions. Perhaps that you can even lift the arms overhead, rise up, trust in the strength and stability of your base. And releasing all the way down where you can now melt. You might like to close down the eyes and just feel those points of contact that are melting for you now. The toes, the feet, the lower and upper legs, the buttocks, the belly, all around the ribs, chest. Notice the whole body deeply releasing long, long exhales. Bring those hands under the shoulders now and find your way back up into your three-legged dog. Left leg extends to the air. Take a tiger curl here, bringing the knee forward. And then you're stepping it behind you to find wild things. So flipping it over to the right side. Lift up through the hips. Gravity wants to draw them down, but rise up. Straighten through that right leg. Press into all points of contact. Flipping back and finding your fallen star. So left leg lengthens, tucks through on the right side, and you're on the outside of the left foot, inside of the right. Coming back through center and finding plank as you inhale, exhale to release. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to come down. Last, invigorating, energizing back bend in your locust pose. Releasing all the way down. Go on and turn the palms up here and rest on one cheek. You can most likely feel the contact of your abdomen against the earth. Every breath. Count down those breaths. Try and stay with 3 breaths at a time without distraction. When you're ready, you can roll over onto your back and find Shavasana. Alternatively, if you're practicing in the morning, you may like to just take a comfortable seat rather than laying back if you've just gotten out of bed. But whatever it is for you, find a position of comfort. A position of comfort where for now you can really make a conscious choice to no longer be striving towards a future or reflecting on a past, but instead being so present with your body that you notice the most subtle shifts of energy within. Or perhaps it's a change in the temperature of your body as you rest. It may be noticing just how good you feel from taking this time on your mat today. And it may be giving you an opportunity, an extra few minutes to set an intention for how you'd like to re-enter this day.